We open the night with a Brock Lesnar package video. Oh goody. He makes it clear that he was put on this earth to hurt people and to make people's ears bleed through his poor promo skills. He also says Roman Reigns has no chance. I see.
I have something to say.
Roman Reigns tries to cut a promo and is interrupted by the most unlikely of saviors in Mark Henry, and endorses Roman after what he did to him last week and that he's a believer in him. Wow. A touch of class from the former ECW champion. And somewhere in parts unknown, Weavile is doing backflips. Good or bad? You decide. Then enter the buzzkill of the day in Cartman Rollins. He must have run out of cheesy poos. Hey! Kane mocks Henry's endorsement and Rollins says anything can happen, alluding to him that he could possibly cash in. And he could possibly cash in and fail, being the first person since Cena at Raw 1000 to fail to cash in on Money in the Bank and win the belt. It could happen. Rollins is ready for Orton and wants a tune-up match for tonight. Kane makes the main event of Seth Rollins and Kane versus Mark Henry and Roman Reigns.
Bring out the divas!
Okay, a little word to the wise here, and this goes to the Bellas and any particular WWE diva that's not in the fans' good books. It's not smart to enrage Paige. It kind of brings out the nastier side in the anti-diva. It's kind of like making Austin ticked off back in the day. Soon as he smiles, you're screwed. What? Nikki claims that AJ's been the voice of the Divas division for long enough, is a compulsive liar, and that the Bellas were never given chances. No, Nikki. You've been given plenty of chances. And there's a reason you weren't given a voice. No one wants to see nor hear you. You're a pretty thing, but that's about it. Paige wins via roll-up in what was a more aggressive Divas match. I want to see more of this. Ambrose gets a Stone Cold-like pop against a guy who's just pet coon goofy. Ain't that the truth? A decent, albeit brief match, with Ambrose getting the win reversing Cody's pinning attempt. Acting like the good loser that he is, Stardust decides to assault the former longest reigning United States champion in WWE history.
It's a squash.
Just after getting rid of the Cosmic Fighter, who seems to have an issue with being called Cody, the match between Truth and Ambrose gets underway. Ambrose wins via dirty deeds in 10 seconds. Wow! Daniel Bryan, you now have someone to laugh at. Yes! 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 A very intense back and forth display between two very talented WWE superstars. Ambrose did have momentum for the majority of the match, but one powerbomb from Luke Harper and it was good night Irene. Still a good match though. These two are no strangers to each other, particularly within the last 2 years when Luke Harper used to be part of the Wyatt family. And boy, were those times creepy. Unsurprisingly, this was a hard-striking contest where neither of the combatants took it easy on each other, especially with Bryan's kicks. Bryan wins via submission. These two squaring off is like Rock versus Stone Cold. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. It's that epic. They know how to get the audience going with their high-flying moves, and tonight was no exception. An amazing back-and-forth contest with Ziggler earning the win via zigzag. Match of the night. Afterwards, a class act by Ziggler by shaking Bryan's hand. I want to see more of that. Good job, guys. That was awesome.
I have something to say.
L-Man's guilty pleasure in BNZ emerges and bullhammers the both of them. Hey Barrett, stay classy! Douche. A first ever interspecies match? I wonder if they're starting to put something weird in the water at WWE headquarters. Mind you, this wouldn't be the first time. Just look at the gobbledygooker. Actually, let's not. Less we remember about that, the better. Despite the weirdness, it was a fast-paced, decent match with Natty getting the win via powerbomb over El Torito. Her first piece of action and notoriety in some time. More power to you, Natty. Good for you. Despite the odds stacked against him with corporate boredom and the architect, Reigns wins via spear on Kane. Orton's music hits, and Rollins goes into WTF mode as Orton appears out of nowhere and, surprisingly, RKO security out of nowhere, whilst Rollins runs away with his tail between his legs. Are you surprised? I'm not. Come WrestleMania, there will be nowhere to run, nor anywhere to hide from the WWE's Apex Predator. Now, as history has shown us, this is the last full SmackDown before WrestleMania, because next week, in the week of WrestleMania, it's probably just going to be maybe one or two matches that'll get featured on SmackDown, and just previews, interviews, and let's face it, you're not really going to want to see that when, you can just check the WWE Network. So, this being the last, as I say, the last full SmackDown before WrestleMania next week, the first WrestleMania to be live on the WWE Network in the UK. Awesome. But yeah, the last full SmackDown before WrestleMania. Let's look at it. Segments were kept to a bare minimum, which is good. The matches were all decent, because this is what I expect SmackDown to do in the run-up to WrestleMania. They really start kicking things up a gear. And when you get the likes of Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, the show-off Dolph Ziggler, say what you will about his persona, but Cody Stardust Rhodes, he knows how to take it into another orbit. And in his case, literally. All were decent. I thought the main event was a little bit predictable and a little bit lackluster. It was entertaining, but the Intercontinental Contenders Gauntlet series was way more entertaining. And as for the interspecies match, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that. That's just stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm just going to quit stalling. Tonight's SmackDown. That's right. A++. Now next week, it's just going to be a WrestleMania preview. The SmackBack WrestleMania preview special, where I'll go through the matches, give you my thoughts, and then next Sunday, on pay-per-view and the WWE Network, WrestleMania 31. This is what we as WWE fans wait for every year. You know, for fans like me, this is that one special time of the year. It's kind of like your birthday in some weird way. You know, you always think of this one special day where it means more to you than hobbies, work, you know. It's that one special day where it means more to you than anything. It's the one day where it's guaranteed to lift your self-esteem up, put a smile on your face, and just have a great time. Now, I will agree, WrestleMania since 25 and 26 have kind of gone down in quality. I think 28 and 29, they were a bit iffy for me. But there's always something good. And I'm just hoping this year things get kicked up a notch. Until next week's preview, good night from the night, and 1 week